Hi everyone and happy Tuesday. Thanks so much for joining in. Glad you guys could make it. I'm going to be showing off this month's subscription boxes, and if you have never watched before, if you're not sure exactly what we offer, each month we actually offer a subscription box, and we offer two different boxes. So the first box that we offer is full of 3 kits. Those kits include the thread, the needles, the patterns, everything that you need to make 3 kits. It usually has a theme, whether or not that's based on the stitch, whether or not it's based on the color or the feel or the season. And then we have another box that is called the treasure box. The treasure box is meant to be a whole month worth of beads, basically, in one box to get you your supplies that you can use for that month. If you ever want to sign up, you can do so at any time in the month, and you can cancel at any time as well. Now, if you sign up for a whole year, we give you a discount because you're paying all at once. That makes it easier for us for planning, processing, all of that. But if you want to, you can go month to month and decide whether or not you like the month and you want to get it or not get it. You can certainly do that. Once the month is over, those boxes are generally gone. We don't usually have backups on the website that you can order after the fact, so you need to order within that month. Some of the kits will become independent kits, but the price savings is huge to get them all in one if you're getting the kit box. So hello to everyone joining in. Thanks so much for hanging out. Hello to Teresa and Carmelina and to Chris and to Linny as well too. Hi guys, thanks for joining in. So I wanted to go over this month's subscription boxes, both the kit and the treasure. Now I know some of you are probably getting your shipping confirmations right now with the holiday, and then with the kind of start of the week being, or the start of the month being on a weekend, we have the boxes that are going out today actually. So they are on their way. Spoiler alert, if you love to be surprised, you're gonna wanna hit pause, go on over, watch a different YouTube video, come back to this after the fact. It's fun to be surprised too, and then get excited as it comes to your door. So number 1, I'm actually modeling one of our projects for this month's kit box. This one here is the silver leaf earring. Kept it really simple. Tried to do more, but I decided I really liked the form. Honestly, by itself, without seed beads kind of going around or seed beads in the middle, anything works. This is one of the little simple projects that is using brick stitch around one of the beaded form. I'll show it closer as well too as we get on, but it's basically has our wooden form there, and there's seed beads all around the wooden form. The great thing about this is because it's the wood form and 15 O's, super light. So you can get pretty complicated, and we have tons of forms if you ever want to check them out. You can get pretty complicated without getting too heavy when it comes to embellishing the wooden forms. So this silver leaf is going to be one of the subscription projects. Also, I took it off because I wanted to show you. This is one of our second kit projects. This one here is the gem woven beaded bead using a collection of some jade rondelles in lapis, smoky quartz, and also some aquamarine, and then also using some different ones as well too. There's also one more gemstone that I didn't use, but the idea of this one is that you can make it into earrings, you can make it into a necklace, you can do beaded beads with it, you can do a bracelet, you can pretty much make your own style. I show in the video and in the kit how to close off the bottom or how to keep the sides open so that way you can make it a beaded bead. We do a tiny bit of wire working with our head pin there, and then we string it on some basic stringing. I also have a bracelet this month, which is the Muted Moon bracelet. These are all coming out this week, so get ready for those. And of course, I have that back at the warehouse. It's gonna be using super duos and some of our pearls as well too. So if you wanna get the bracelet, the necklace, the earrings from the kit box, those are the 3. I wanna just show a little bit what those look like. So let's actually do this here. So this month's best bead box kit edition, there's your bracelet for you with the larger 8mm pearl in the middle, and then it has the super duos as well that you can kind of see along the top there, and then the gem necklace as well as the earring. When we scroll down this page too, there is the option to see the treasure box. And again, you can get this quarterly, monthly, annually, and the more you sign up for them, the cheaper the boxes get annually because we give you a little discount for that. So when you click on, you'll see a discount that is over those 12 months. You can add to your cart and shop at any time. All right, I'm going to show you without further ado actually what is in the box. So if you've been thinking, if I want to do the treasure box, oh, and I'll show you these a little bit closer here. Here's the earrings. I did go back and forth whether or not to use white thread or green thread. You can kind of see a little bit. We're including the green in the box in case you want that, and then you have the white in your other kits as well too. So I'm going to put my earrings back on, show you a little closer that gem woven beaded bead. So you've got almost a begonia here, and then the 4 beaded beads that go up along the side. It is a necklace, and certainly you can have this go the opposite way. Again, bracelet, necklace, you have extra wire, extra crimps, all of that good stuff too in with the design. All right, and then the bracelet, which of course I forgot at the warehouse. I'm back at the home studio. Also a little heads up for when the video comes out for the gem woven beaded bead. I did so many different varieties of these beaded beads, like an insane amount. I cut most of them apart, took some pictures just to get it just right in the way that I wanted it to. So I show that in the video as well. So always make sure to look at the videos. They help because you can kind of see and get ideas and do everything along. All right, without further ado, I have the treasure box. So kits are easy. Comes with the thread, the needle, the beads that you need, videos that go along with. The treasure box, again, is basically your monthly supply of projects in a box. Here is this month's box, which we have fun each month naming the boxes. This one here is Leaf Season. Actually, my 16-year-old daughter named this one. We were all kind of sitting around bagging things up, and I was like, I need something. And she's like, instead of stick season, let's do leaf season. I thought that is a great idea. I love the idea of the leaf season. So last month's box was nice and purples. If you're wondering, I have that one sitting here, just kind of if you've never seen one of the boxes. This one here is the lavender latte box. So this had purples and pinks and golds. The box before had blues and silvers and all different colors of beautiful gemstones in the last box. All different colors of blues and greens, and that was the September box. The October box was the lavender latte, and then getting into November, we have this leaf season box. So we try to go in and vary it up so that way you're not getting all the same supplies. And really, when I'm thinking about the box and curating the boxes, I think about what you got last month and how that can go in and be used for this month as well. So a lot of the colors, the seed beads that you got last month from the lavender latte, they would have gone into working really, really pretty with a lot of the blues from September. And then we also look at these colors from the lavender latte box and we see, okay, yes, those go really nicely into our leaf season box, that we can mix some of those greens and the browns and the reds with it. So leaf season, let's see it. So this month we're celebrating leaf season. We are. I just had to drive down to the DC area last week to pick up a visa and passport stuff, and the trees in DC are absolutely gorgeous. Driving to my daughter's soccer game, go Lady Leopards. They won the tournament this weekend, thanks Chris. Mimi is now full into soccer as an 8-year-old, and now that she knows she can get trophies. And driving down to the DC area, Northern Virginia, leaf season is the perfect name for this box. We go from bright, bright orange hues to golden reds and to brass colors and beautiful deep greens. The tapestry right now is absolutely gorgeous when you're driving around the area where we live here in the Northeast. So that's what inspired this box, was leaf season. Leaf season on the back also always includes what is in the box as well too. A little bit hard to see with the lights, but it lists out exactly what is in the box so that way you can kind of follow along. Most of them also will have the item IDs if you ever need them, and the item numbers and the names on them as well too. So we'll start out right here with this turquoise Picasso round duos. Pack of approximately 40 in here. Normal packs are 75, but 40 is very much so a perfect quantity to be able to make a lot of different designs and bracelets. Especially this color was used in the round duo stacker bracelet. So I gave this also as a heads up to kind of getting some of those Christmassy colors without being too Christmassy for November, or for October, November as well too, as you're getting into those months. And as we go into November, and we do that little leaf season. I like to give it its own time and its own month before we get into Christmas. As much as I know Christmas is coming and I'm starting to think about it. We also have these bright orange rondelles. My favorite when it comes to the trees outside right now, and even looking outside my basement window here, I can see those bright, I mean this color, bright orange on fire trees that look like they're going to ignite at any minute. That's the fun of these bright, smooth glass rondelles. We also have the Topaz AB cup buttons, which is that nice rusty brown, shimmery, shiny leaf color as well. There is a half strand of 2mm cranberry pearls. Rather than giving you one less item in the box, sometimes I'll give you half strands because you often don't need a whole strand for a project. So rather than saying, oh, we'll just get 10 things in it, I like to give you usually about 16, 17, 18 items if I can, because I like the variety of it, and it's very rare that you need a whole strand depending on what you're doing. And if you do need more, the item ID is always there that you can get more from the website. Here is some beautiful ingot beads, and these are a metallic green iris crystal. And the ingots are basically long rectangles. They are a 4 by 6 millimeters, so 4 millimeters thick, 6 millimeters long. I have Chris's designs to show you what she made as well too. So if you're thinking about these, they give the Christmassy vibe. Again, I want you to be able to work early, but I don't want to ignore the fall season. Going in here is the silver lined, and then I use this to lay them out for photos. So got a little bit more of some of the other seed beads that are in here marked up. But these here are some 8/0 seed beads in the beautiful light rose color, silver line to kind of make them pop. I love the soft look of that with your turquoise Picasso. Again, doing that round duo wrap bracelet. This is a good inclusion for that. From there, we're going to go into some Eva beads in lava red, pack of approximately 12 here for you. You can use those to frame out your round duos. We have a couple different bracelets like that, one being called the Eva bracelet. We also have, we want to be complete with our friends of the North with the Canadian fall too as well, if we didn't give some beautiful maple leaves. So we have maple leaves that are getting ready to kind of go in, get tapped, you know, all of those beautiful red colors. Now with some of these beads, they are limited supplies and we don't have a ton to put them on the website. It's the idea of why it's called a treasure box, because sometimes we go to factories and we go to their old vintage stock and we pull things out like these maple leaves in smaller quantities and we pass them on to you. You can never have too many waxed cotton cord necklaces. I use these all the time to hang pendants on, to wear sometimes just by themselves, hang a single pearl on, getting kind of that shabby chic look. So I have a ton of the brown ones, the black ones as well, hanging around because I like how the beads pop when they're on a wax slitting cord. In here as well is a gemstone of rainbow agate. So these are dyed all different color. It's agate beads. You can see almost like that snake egg look where it's kind of has that fiery pattern where it got heated and then kind of those lines, little burst. But you can use these individual beads and pull out all the colors, or look at those gorgeous, again, fall colors all together as I'm looking at it and I see that. We also have the 10mm cabochons. Some people got the white blue luster and some people got a little bit more of a greenish turquoise color. So those two colors were in the box. They were both gorgeous and I didn't want to limit it to only give you 2 or 3. So I figured let's give 2 different colors in the box and give you a whole retail pack of 5. So that's why there's 2 different colors in, because I said let's go a whole retail pack. You also have some infinite cabochons here, and the infinite cabs, when you're looking at them, they are in the antique brass color to go again with that look of the cord, with the look of the fall leaves. You can glue the cabochons into them. You can get creative, like I'll show you that Chris did, that you can do resin in them as well too. We also have the Azuki seed beads here. and these are in 11.0. We have the jet crystal rounds in a 3mm bead, and these are a full pack of 120. These also will line really, really nicely if you want a little bit of a darker look to your turquoise Picasso round duo beads and you want to do the round duo wrap. You can use the crystal rounds on the sides instead of the 8.0C beads. Another little idea for you. You also have the, like I said, the 11.0s in the Azuki. And then I must have taken them out, but you also have, I'll show you about the color. You've got a color of Delica beads too. I took them out to use them. They're a little bit more pumpkin-y than that. Little heads up, there is a tutorial coming up next week that shows how to use some of the supplies from the treasure box to make a cute little pair of earrings. You can make it into a pendant too, but cute little box idea that it has the Delicas in there as well too. There's also the little basically pocket form ruler here. And this guy is just a mini ruler that really is designed for you to take with you to bead shows, to your friend's house, to your groups. Goes with millimeter. Most of the time we've put inches on it. This one has millimeter and then has the stone size where you can put the bead sitting right on top and you'll know exactly what size it is. So think ultimate ruler. I wanted to shrink it down and just make it super friendly that you can take it with you as you're creating in a smaller size as well too. So it has the bead and stone size in diameter in millimeters on this guy here. We've done some of the mini rulers before also, always in inches, and it didn't have the holes in the middle. I wanted to make sure to change that up. So this here is your leaf season box that has all the different materials in it to create. Chris got her box early and she sent me some beautiful designs and I wanted to show them first. So Chris's designs really go above and beyond always. Chris is on the chat so everybody can give a little thumbs up and say, thanks Chris for giving us ideas. This one is great because it's nice and simple, but it shows how pretty simple can be. So when you're looking at those ingots and thinking, what should I make with them? She framed them out with the 11.0 Azukis in the brass color and then did a matching bracelet going from side to side. There you could do it with 2 needles or 1, but with 2 needles, go up, cross through, go up, cross through, fill the middle with that cube. Nice, simple, gorgeous piece. Looks like a tennis bracelet. I'm going to put it on so you can see the look of that one. Nice and really, really simple, but absolutely gorgeous. Chris, I think you should make this into a video because it looks gorgeous on the wrist. Nice and simple. Because it is so shiny and sparkly with all those crystals, the underplay of it being thin is really, really beautiful. I love this one. I think this is absolutely gorgeous. And the earrings, perfect with it. That, again, it's got all that glitz, all that glam, but is nice and simple and sophisticated in it. From there, Chris also sent us some simple fall necklace jewelry, where she took some of the maple leaves, mixing them in with the seed beads and the pearls there. And just a nice stacker necklace, something that you can put on with something else if you want to, or have it stand by itself with those pretty fall colors and bringing them back and separating them out with the pearls. You can see how much fun it is to create with a box and get totally, totally different ideas. Here's one for the little maple leaf man. So he's super cute. It looks like a little acorn man. I love this, that it has the seed beads there at the top, making it look like a little leaf. She used the cup buttons to look like a little acorn head. We've got our guy's little face there, his leaf acorn body, and a little seed bead there as well too. So look how cool and fun so far this box is. And I'm looking already and I'm like, man, there's still so many more beads within the box that you can create from. Here is one of the ideas here with, oops, here we go, that I was saying that you can take those Rivolis if you want to. And here is a converter idea that Chris actually used the infinite cab or the infinite clasps here and made them so you could have long earrings or short earrings. So if you want to, you have the long earring in. I'll flip that around. You have the long earring in, or you can have that shorter earring by taking it out. So if you want the length, you can use that guide. If you want it shorter, you can do that as well too. Same here for a necklace idea, just using that as a pendant and then having that drop down pendant. And then this is super cool. For those of you that are a little bit more advanced beaders, this is using the cabochons, and look how she used the clasp. So she used the whole cord here, making it attach to the middle. The lobster attaches right along the side, and then has this beautiful focal point. Now, if you are looking at this and you're like, and then she did a little matching pair of earrings with them as well too, using the round duos to really, really highlight the fall colors. I know fall is Chris's color, and fall is Chris's season, and all of these pieces just speak to that. I love the idea of wearing this bracelet with this necklace too, mix and matching all of these fall tones together. For these, you may think this is going to be really, really difficult. It's not. I want to show you something that I think is underutilized a lot on our website. This is the beaded bezel directory. So you may not know, but we actually have on the website here, we have some blogs from a couple years ago. And if you go through the blogs, a lot of it is still super relevant today. Down at the bottom of the website here, you go to Potomac Blogs. And if you go to the Potomac Blogs under resources, I wish my cursor would show here, this one is called the Ultimate Delica Bezel Directory. This one here has how many Delica beads you're going to start out with in order to bezel around a cabochon or a Rivoli, something of that millimeter diameter. You got your millimeter diameter rulers that are in your box, and then you can take that and gain the knowledge and say, all right, I'm taking those Delica beads and I'm going to use them, to create the look and feel that I want to around the cabochon. So you'll notice the second line down there is for a 10 millimeter round. You've got 10s and 12s. Honestly, not sure why the 12 is above the 10, but anyway, we've got the 12s and the 10s there. So the 10, you're starting out with 26 Delicas. So when you're looking at it and you're seeing it and you're like, oh, I can't do that. 26 Delicas and peyote. You're doing 4 rows of your Delica beads there. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. It looks like 2 on 2. And then Chris used some of her stash of 15 O's to close up the front and the back of the project there with 3 rows on the back, 2 rows on the front. Then you just create and grab in and join your Rivolis with the Eva beads. These, again, absolutely gorgeous. I love how inspiring it is to connect the Eva beads into different sections of the project here. And all that is coming out of the Delicas wherever you want, grabbing onto the Eva bead, going into the round duo and back down. Nice and simple. Don't overthink it. There's a lot of times that you look at jewelry from designers and creators and beautiful artists like Chris, and you say, oh, I could never do that. Totally not true. You can totally do it. It's just piecing together the different samples of pieces. One thing that I also would love the look of is to stack another one on top of there in that Y as well too. So you can go in and create and design all of your different pieces as well. It's so, so great to see all of the different inspiration and pieces that come out of one single box. In here too, I'm looking and I see, okay, we've got a bunch of the seed beads used. You still have all pretty much your 8O seed beads. You pretty much have all your rondelles that you still have to create with. You've got more pearls because there's not that many used in there. You've got more gemstones that you can create with. You have your cup buttons already on there. You've got a couple more Evas. You've got a couple more maple leaves. And you have more seed beads and more of your crystal rondelles for sure, since there's 120 in that pack. That there's more to use within the box, and you've already made this many pieces. That's a testament to how much you can create from little pieces that are in the box. The great thing about jewelry making and beading is it's really condensed. It may seem really sad when something comes and you're like, oh my goodness, this tiny package was $60. But then you look at all the value that's in there and all the creativity that you can combine and make out of these items. And it really shows you the diversity that you can make with the beads that are in the treasure box. Even sometimes I know you're not gonna love every single project that is in the kit box. If you love all 36 projects that year, that is absolutely amazing. The statistical likelihood of that is incredibly low. But what I love is showing some different people's designs, design ideas. I love when you guys post in the Facebook group for beading and jewelry making, because you show off all of the different things that you make and design. And I think it's super, super fun to show all of those designs as well. So I'm gonna take Chris's designs here, and then I'm gonna give you a little heads up what I was thinking as I did the box. So as we were creating the box and putting it all together, these orange rondelles, and they're a little bit darker than what they look like there, and my lighting has been a challenge because I still am waiting for curtains for my big windows off the basement here. Our house is on a hill, and at nighttime, it's one color. At daytime, it's another color. I'm waiting for my curtains. Okay, so my thought is when you have a brighter bead like this, you want to tone it down with something that's a little bit more muted or a little bit softer. Hence why we wanted to go in and get these bright colors and have some of the neutrals as well. Even the green Round Duo Picasso is more of that neutral color as well. So one thing that I always like to show is if you have with gemstones, gemstones are one of those pieces that natural from the earth, one is never going to be the exact same as the next one. That's what makes gemstones absolutely wonderful. If you have one gemstone that you love more than others, one thing that you can do is take that gemstone out. You can grab some wire, and I'm gonna grab some 22 gauge wire. We just got a restock of our ring mandrels in, and pretty sure I have one sitting here. Here we go. Yeah, we just got a restock of ring mandrels in. We have a restock of a lot of crystals coming. We've restocked a lot of seed beads. We have all delicas. If they were available by the manufacturer, those are all restocked as well too. So get in and get it before the holiday season starts. And then also just a little heads up that if you are in the area, we do have an open warehouse on Friday. You can join us and come in and say hello to us and shop. So that's kind of fun. And then just the reminder that if you want to attend the retreat, that is filling very fast for September of 26. And then the last little thing that you can check out as well, if you're going to be in the Tucson area and you love gemstones, you can totally come and visit us there. So this is a wire ring that I'm doing in just the most simple form because I have this one gemstone that I love. So you've been watching kind of as I'm talking, and you're watching me bend the wire and have these wires go around the bead from one side to the other. You can do it as many times as you want, as few times as you want. I just want to make sure I have wire on the opposite side to wrap. The mandrel will always show you the size. So even if you're like, I don't want to do seed beading, you can go in and look. You now have, what is it, about 22 or 24 beads, 8 millimeters, about 25 beads that you can make into rings if you want to, matching up if you have that desire to do so. It would be nice if I had a needle nose pliers, but I think it's upstairs. But you can wrap in and you can say, oh, this is this great one bead that I absolutely love. There you go. These gemstones are ones that you absolutely love and you want to use. So you can always go in, have fun with wire as well as thread and needle and create a fun ring. So there's one simple thing that every time I do gemstones, there's always one that I love more than the other, and I want to create a nice little ring design. So it's a pretty purple amethyst one. It was just on the end, but to show you guys an idea of how to do that as well. We have videos on how to do all of these things. I've been wearing, since the summer, a gemstone necklace that I made with some higher end gemstones that we now have on the website. We did start them on the live sale. And I did them in a colored series here where I separated them out by one of the little mirrored rounds and did that and just kind of made it almost like a chakra necklace. When you're doing that and looking at that, you can look at the gemstones in that same light, bringing in some brighter colors as well too. So I'm going to show you right now how I would take this gemstone then, because we're on the gemstone strand, and how I would organize it. So I'm going to go right in here, take these all off. And then someone did ask, are we going to do another big holiday box like you did last year? We will be. And then this is your first glance, and I'm making a very limited number, but I am going to make advent calendars. So you guys are the first ones to learn that. The thing with the advent calendar that is going to be different is it's going to be supplies. At the end of each week, I'll have a video that shows how I use some of the supplies from that week in the December, but we are going to be doing an advent calendar, and then we will have the surprise under your tree in that flat rate box again too as well. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do rainbow first. So I'm going to say, okay, I've got my reds and my oranges and put them in color order. If you need help, we also have a blog on the on the color wheel as well too. So here's my red, that one's red. Then I'm going to go in for my orange and go to my lighter ones. I'm going to go to my brown. I'm going to drop my greens. Whoa. And then I'm going to go into my greens here. And then I'm going to go into my blue. And then my purples. And then my onyx colors I'm going to keep. I'm going to keep those onyx out of there. I could use it to separate the colors if I wanted to. But right away there you have kind of that chakra look of style ready to go for your necklace. Just like my necklace that I have, but you're using the 8mm rounds. This would go great for a bracelet as well if you want to bring it a little bit closer and have that bracelet look when you separate out the gemstones and work with that. These look phenomenal with the Miyuki Metallic dark, or the Azuki Metallic dark bronze that you can separate them out with. If you do want to separate out every three and kind of separate almost like those chakra colors here, you can go in, and you're going to have different colors on your strands because they're all different here. I'm going to say, okay, there we go. If we want to separate out and put some black ones in, I'm going to keep it nice and bright, take those black ones out, and then I'm going to show you just right here to match with my necklace. Oop, go in there. And it's fun to separate out these beads, and you look at it and you're like, oh, this is super fun to go in and do this. And then if I just want the tiniest bit of shine, I'm going to go in and add one of these little shimmery beads between it. So I have here one thing to show you that you can use is the knotting cord. Now, the knotting cord, the way that you're going to use it, and I like to do this as we're doing these unboxings and showing them, is kind of show you ideas of how to work with products. So with this, I want it to create a little bit of a needle end. I'm burning and heating up the end. Then I'm going to take my round nose pliers and I'm going to stretch out that end. So you can kind of see that long line going there. What that does is that starts to become almost like a needle. That's going to make it easier for me to pick up my beads. And this is the size 8. You can use either one. But I can put, if I want to, my gemstones onto this cord. I can then pick my 8OC beads if I want to, put them onto that cord as well, because that'll fit. So this is, the cord's not in the box, but I like to show you. You did get cord a couple months ago. I included one of the cords in the box. And this one here is just the beige color. Any color will work really. You can also use the silk cord as well. And see how you're creating that nice flow of beads that you can then tie into a slip knot. You can do into your into a bracelet, into a long layer necklace. You can also take this cord and knot it as well. So I could knot in between the cord. And I just wanted to show how this color of seed bead is one of my favorites because it pretty much matches anything that's next to it. So it has that silver lined light tea rose kind of look, but as you go further in and you put the beads next to it, and if you start get to a point where you're like, oh, the beads aren't going, you just burn a little bit more off the end. I could have left mine a little bit longer. But look how when you put those beads in between, they just, oh, there I did too. They just add and highlight a little bit of that gemstone. Now, here's what I was saying, where you're using different shapes. So look in your piece here. If you want to keep this, rainbow look is really, really popular and in right now. I'm going to mix materials. So I'm mixing my gemstones in with my check glass and I'm putting them into that fiery area. If you'll notice with mine here, I have rondelles, I have rounds, I have a couple little tiny faceted rounds. I've got some Hishi ones in here too. So different shapes add to the look of the design. Same thing here, I can even go in if I wanted to, and Chris did this a little bit too, is pick out a maple leaf and put that maple leaf in where the reds are and break that up by using different sections and different beads in the different spaces. So that's one thing that I love to do. The other thing that I love to do is knot. So you can knot this whole project and you can use the different beads stacked one on top of the other as well. Speaking of stacking on top of one another, we have a project that is called the Oasis earrings. The Oasis earrings use cylinders, but I want to show you how you can use the beads here, the metallic ingot beads, to make a look like that. The ingot beads are rectangle. So the nice thing is here that they will line up one next to another. We have a couple of tutorials using the ingot beads as well too. If you've never gone onto the website, what you want to do, here, and I'll show you this too, is when you go to the website, you want to go to Learn to Make. When you're on the Learn to Make, you want to click the free projects and tutorials, and you're going to scroll down here. If you notice on the left-hand side here, you can filter by different items, and you can do show more. When I do the show more button here, I can look at all the different beads and kind of pick. Now, if you're like, oh, there's a ton in there, if you didn't know this, you can do a Control F, and that's called a Control Find. And what that is going to do, it popped up at the top here. It's hard to see right here at the top. But you can type in your bead. So if I say rondelle, and I want to see which ones have rondelle in it, it'll highlight those names. I can click them. So this is what I do when I do them for you in the email. And now I can look at all of these projects that use rondelles in the project. So when you get the treasure box, you can say, hey, what do I want to do that uses the cup buttons? What do I want to do that uses rondelles? What do I want to do that uses delicas? So that's just a little helpful hint if you've never gone on the website. One more thing to show actually is just that you can also do this for the beading patterns. So if you want to go in and you want to look for patterns, there are 771 patterns here. You can look by designers, you can look by projects. Same thing here, do that little show more button, and our most common items will come up in there that are used in projects. You can see moderate, easy projects, more difficult as well. And then project type 2, you can go in and style as well. So if you say, hey, I really want to do some wire working, maybe I want it to be easier, maybe I want a pair of earrings, perfect. Look at that, I have a couple easy projects to work with. So we've spent a lot of time on the filtering, so just a little heads up that that is there if you're ever looking for it and you want to see what's going on. Okay, thread and needle. I know Chris did hers the opposite way, but I wanted to show when you do just a fun ladder stitch what this looks like. And I have the 8 O's poured out here, so I'll show you doing that. I'm going to pick up one of my beads here, and this is going to be an earring that I'll do. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, I think. Yep, 4 is about the distance. I'm going to go back through that same bead. Those lay along the top, and I'm going to sew through the beads that I just added. Once again, add another one of your ingots, sew from the opposite side. That lays it right next to the project. And back through the ingot that you added. Now, obviously, I can add seed beads kind of on the sides wherever I want to. I can go in here, add my 3 beads or 4 beads, go into the opposite side of your bead. There we go. And then maybe one more ingot back into those 4 beads that your thread is coming out of. You can also line them up side by side. Now I can look at it and say, do I want fringe hanging down on my earring or my pendant? Do I want it to hang lateral like this and do a V up and a V down? Do I want it to hang like this and do something hanging down? I am going to pick up, because they are here, let's do a purple bead at the top and at the bottom of this design. I'll bring 1, 2, 3 beads of my 8-ohs, 4 beads of my 8-ohs, one of my bright orange beads to keep the carnival colors coming. This reminds me of, instead of the falling leaves, this is giving me the vibes of Mardi Gras, which is kind of fun too. I'm going to do an 11-oh seed bead. I would use a wire guard there. Come back down through the rondelle. Add 1, 2, 3, and 4 seed beads and go to the opposite side. And that now is good for the bottom. You can close this up and do it as a beaded bead. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to go back into this one here. So the creativity and the options really are endless as you design. Come down, then to make this into a beaded bead, you're just going to go back up through that rectangle as well, into the top, down to the bottom. And there you go. So it's almost like you could hang it down, you could hang it up, you could hang another bead down there too. That's a little long now that I closed it off. But just to show you all the options that you can do with putting them in and out of the piece here. I actually really like that beaded bead. And then I would put this beaded bead directly onto, so ignore the seed beads before and after. If you have a beaded bead like this, you can just put that beaded bead directly onto your leather cord, and you can line up however many you want. So you slide it down the middle there onto the cord, and then it runs right down the middle. And you can have beaded beads and beaded bead galore. So one thing that some people do is they will get both boxes, so they can mix some of these things together. Some people get just one box, some people get both. If you're doing the leaf earrings here and you want to, you can always add a gemstone on the bottom. I would take those extra black gemstones and put a little black gemstone on the bottom of my leaf, so that way I get my brown, my black, and my silver all together. If you know me, I love to mix tones, so I love to mix gold and silver and put all of them together, especially with the brown, the black, the gold, the silver. I'd probably throw some gold beads in here too now, mixing those together, or some of those bronze beads on the outside, mix all those tones together, or you could put the onyx on top. You could also do the same thing here, putting in one of your rondelles, or keep it nice and bright and have that fiery leaf right there at the top going right into the middle as well. So lots of different beads to use, lots of different things that you can check out and use along the way as well too. When it comes to designing, I want to thank Chris, because the projects that she did and the inspiration from this box is absolutely gorgeous. Love the details of this design. I love too that it doesn't matter whether or not you got the blue or the green. This would look absolutely gorgeous with both in that middle, with all of those colors together. And remember, there is going to be a tutorial that's coming up with some of these beads as well too. So if you are not looking to use your Delica beads in something else, how to hold out a little bit till Monday, because Monday I'm going to try to make you hungry with Delica design using those also. Once again, nice and simple version here of just a standard kind of tennis bracelet with the rondelles. And fun little earrings to match, my Acorn Man earrings as well too. Lots and lots of projects that you can do with this month's leaf season box. Hopefully you get a chance to check it out and enjoy. Remember, if you do want to get any of the boxes, you can go to the Potomac Beads website. So you can go right over here and you can go to subscribe. And then when you hit that subscribe button, you go in and you can pick which subscription box you want, whether or not you want the kit box or if you want the treasure box, which has everything in it as well. You can get those two different things of what's included in the box and get ideas for you to create as well. So as always with it, thank you guys so much for joining in and hanging out with me on this live. It's really fun to see everybody join in, see what people are making. So if If you have never posted anything in our Facebook group for beading and jewelry making, we would love to see what you're making there and see what you create and have fun with making. I'm going to go in here and finish my knotted, my bead tech knotting cord. I'm going to finish my necklace that has the kind of chakra rainbow colors going, so I can wear it with my gemstones. I might make it into a bracelet, actually. I'll post pictures in our Facebook group for beading and jewelry making, so check that out there. And then make sure, if you're in the area, join us and visit us on Friday. If you're not on the area, that's okay. In the area, that's okay as well too. And big thank you again to Chris for sharing all of her stuff as well. So thank you guys so much for joining in. Hopefully you enjoyed this unboxing, got inspired, got some questions asked and answered through the design elements, and enjoy this month's kit or treasure box, or actually check out both. Thanks everyone. Bye.